Hey everybody, Jonathan here, and this is just an update as to what's been going on with my Model 3. And obviously you could see I got it back now. So I'm going to start off this video by saying that my faith in Tesla has been restored big time, especially with the service center. I mean, I read really good things about the Tesla service center, and they're amazing. The service center was great. The service manager was amazing. All the staff there was super cool. And then even the paint shop where they took my car to have all the paint defects fixed, man, they were amazing also. And, I've talked to them a couple times and, about a few other things I had questions about, and they're so cool. I mean, they even told me at the body shop, and they told me if anything happens, just take it right back to the body shop, and they'll fix anything that ever comes up down the road. So if you have been following my channel and you watched my first Model 3 video about the defects that I found at the delivery center and also over at after I left the delivery center, you'll know what's been going on. So if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go back first, go watch the first video, and then you'll understand what's been going on. So I'm going to go through everything that was done to the Model 3. I named my Model 3 Zero. Zero is the dog from Nightmare Before Christmas, so just so everybody knows. So I'm going to show you the paper here. Now this paper here, this is the invoice that they gave me over at the service center, letting me know everything that they did. Now on number 1, this is just the courtesy inspection, torquing the wheels, checking the software, topping off the fluids, checking tire pressure, those kind of things. So that's normal. Then number 2 here is about the steering wheel alignment. And if you watched my first video, I was saying that when I was driving straight, the car wasn't pulling to the left or right. It's just when you're driving straight, you look at the steering wheel and it was kind of turned to the right, like just by an inch or two, and you can see it. It's kind of just turned to the right. So they addressed that. And then the next thing on the paper is number 3. Let me focus here. This one is about the dent that I found in the sport rim. Now, actually, when we were at the service center dropping off the car, we found 2 dents. We found a dent in the front passenger rim, and we also found the dent in the rear passenger rim. And it wasn't a major dent, but still, it's a brand new car and it shouldn't have dents anywhere on it, especially on the rims. So what they ended up doing is they just replaced both of the rims with brand new rims. They didn't repair them, they just replaced them with new ones. And then the next thing here you'll see, number 5, this one is about all the paint drops, the defects all around the car. So if you watched my first video, you'll see all the paint issues that were all around the car. Now you'll remember if you watched the video, the car's a little dirty right now. I'm waiting to have my car taken to the shop. I'm just waiting for my appointment to come up to have it all wrapped in the clear protection film to protect the car. So I'm trying not to drive it as much. I'm trying to keep it as new as possible, as much as I can. So there was a huge chip here, if you remember in the video, and then there was also one over on the back of the trunk. There was a whole bunch of other ones, but on the back of the trunk, there was like one right here, and you could tell it would just look like a paint drop hit it, and it was just, you could see it. Just watch my first video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So all of the paint issues all around the car have been addressed. What they actually ended up doing with, say, the bumper, because there were several things that were found on the bumper, they repainted the entire front bumper, and I can't believe it. The paint shop, the name of the paint shop is Harry's Auto Collision in Westlake Village, California. Man, they did an amazing job. The color is perfect. You can't see any discoloration. It matches 100%. And so when I look at everything, from the invoice that I saw over at the service center, the body shop invoice, they said they repainted the front bumper. They repainted the rocker panel because there was a dent and a few other chips. They even found more over at the body shop too, they told me. So they addressed everything. And they did a lot of paint they did like sanding on a lot of the parts of the car, and then they sanded them down, and then they painted it, and then they sealed it again. You can't even tell they did that. They told me where they did it, and you can't even see it, which was amazing. So props to them. You know, Harry's Auto Collision, the auto body shop, they did an amazing job. So that was that. And then down here, number 5, that was about the paint drops. And then the next thing on number 6, this is about the paint chip. Again, they just repainted the entire front bumper. And number 7, this one says the inside rear view mirror has 2 chips in the glass on both and right on the left. So this is about the rear view mirror on the inside of the car. And I forgot to take a picture of it when I was dropping off the car, but basically what it was is when we were at the delivery center, we saw a chip here and a chip here. It was in the glass. So what they ended up doing is just replacing the mirror with the brand new mirror. And then the next thing here, number 8, it says customer states the turn signal does not turn off. So if you were watching my first video again, it was pretty crazy, and it was a little disappointing when I was driving the car away from the delivery center. When I was driving the car and I was making complete left turns, the left turn signal would not turn off. I had to kind of bump the turn signal stock, sorry. I had to bump it up or down to turn it off. You can see that the turn signal was resetting as I was getting out of a left turn. So that's what they ended up doing with that one. They said is they replaced the whole steering column control, which it's everything on the inside back here. They replaced everything there, all the sensors, all that's brand new. And then number 9, this one says there was grease under the center arm. There was some grease that was over at the delivery center that I noticed after I left, and I couldn't get it off, and I didn't want to damage it. There was grease that was all here. It was just a thick piece of grease. So I didn't want to mess with trying to remove it myself because I would rather have Tesla do it, and in case if they scratched it or damaged it, they would just replace it instead of me having to say, you know, there was grease there and explain the whole thing. So they cleaned it up and it looks brand new. There's no scratches anywhere on that. Next thing here, this number 10, it says about the windshield washer fluid low indicator won't go away. Again, on my first video, you will see that there was an error here saying that the washer fluid was low, even though it was topped off at the delivery center, and that was the indicator that was on when I was at the delivery center. And they told me that it should go away if I drove the car a few miles, and it should recognize that the fluid is full. It never did, and I had it for a few days, and the sensor just would not go off. So he told me that actually what they found, the service manager told me they found out that the washer level sensor was not communicating with the car. So what they ended up doing is just replacing the entire reservoir that had the sensor on the inside, and they put a brand new one in there, and now it's all gone and it's fixed. Next was number 11. It says the hood had poor alignment. You know, when we were at the service center dropping the car off, I noticed that the hood was kind of to the right, and here I'll show you. It's still there just a little bit. So look at the hood from here, and there's little things on the car. These are just like dead bugs and stuff. If you look at the hood, you're gonna see on the right it's open there, and then on the right it's closed, more closer to the fender. So the body shop was telling me that they were trying to fix it, but they really couldn't. It was really because the fender on the right was the way it was put together, and they couldn't really do anything about it. So you know, they tried to address it as much as they could, but like I said, it was no big deal. We just noticed it while we were over at the service center. So didn't even worry about it. I told them don't worry about it, forget it. So that was that. It says up here on the top, the customer's driver upper B pillar is dirty. So on this one, now this is the B pillar right here. Now when we were at the delivery center, I noticed the first thing I got in the car, there was a big handprint like this, and you can tell it was like somebody either getting in the car or something over at the delivery center. their hand was completely dirty and it was just black. So at the delivery center, they tried to clean it with some cleaners and some cleaning cloths, and it just wouldn't come out. So at the service center, they actually just replaced the entire B-pillar cover, so it looks brand new. There's nothing on it. So that was cool. They did that. And then next, the number 13, it says the left repeater is dented. Again, if you're watching my first video, you're gonna see there was a dent in, actually I'm walking around and I'm gonna show you right now. There was a dent in this, and the dent was right there. And that was from the delivery center as well. And so what they ended up doing is just putting a brand new one on it. They just replaced it. So I'm so appreciative that they're doing all this stuff. And I mean, it's a lot of things that were done, but they did everything and they made the car right. Next is number 14. The front passenger's door by Brightwork mirror's edge had paint defect. That one, I believe what he was telling me, if you look at the paper, it says sill plate right there. And so what he was explaining what this one is, so since there was some defects on the rocker panel down here on the passenger side, you know, there was a dent here and there was a few other things that were underneath also. He said that in the process, while they were trying to remove this, the door sill, it got bent. This got bent. So they ordered a brand new one and they just replaced it with a brand new one on that. So that was done. This one says I requested to have the body shop check the entire car for paint defects. So they did that over at the body shop, and that's when they told me they found several more issues with the paint all around the car, and they corrected everything. So they had to mark that on the invoice. And then next here it says I found a scuff near the front right speaker grill. So that was another thing we discovered at the delivery center. There was a big white mark right here on the passenger door, and it went like this. And so they tried to clean it at the service center, but it was actually in the material, so they couldn't clean it or anything. So what they ended up doing is just replacing the whole door cover, the whole panel on the inside. So that's all brand new too. So that's pretty much everything that they did. Again, that is a lot of stuff that was done. But what I'm gonna say, if you're still watching this video and if you're having any similar issues that have happened, or you've heard of other things, other people having issues with their car, you know, they are pushing these cars out as fast as they can. They even took 2 colors away for a little while so that they can streamline the paint process. I'm gonna tell you, this is just advice, and it's totally up to you. If you're gonna take delivery of your car and you find some defects, like especially with the paint, I mean, I'm gonna say take the car, enjoy the car, so that way you don't have to go and do the whole delivery thing over again, because you're still gonna find some defect somewhere on the car, no matter what. So if you find the defect, especially at the delivery center, make sure they note it, no matter what it is. You make sure they note it, and then you take it to the service center as soon as you can, because you want to get it addressed right away. You don't want to wait later down the road and they're going to ask you, well, why'd you wait so long? You don't want that. So, and I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably wouldn't say that, but you never know. I guess it really is going to depend on the service center and the people that you're talking to. So what I'm going to say is take the car, enjoy it, and then take it to the service center. You know, let them know of all the issues that you found or defects that you found. They're gonna make it right. They're gonna take care of you. Just make sure you do it in a timely manner. Tesla, their service center, man, they're awesome. And I mean, he was making me feel comfortable about the whole thing. He kept texting me to let me know what was going on with the car and what the status was. He was keeping me totally posted about everything. And his name was Ryan, by the way, in case you wanted to know. You know, I give props to them. So this is just an update. You know, I'm gonna have my car wrapped with the clear protection film, and you know, I want to protect it from rocks, chips, things like that on the front of the car especially. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Please subscribe to this channel, as I'm going to be uploading some more videos about the Model 3, especially any things that, some tips, tricks, those kind of things, or If you want to find out something about the car, definitely let me know. I'll get back to you, or I'll make a video about something that you've been wanting to know about. I know version 9 is coming out soon, and definitely I am going to make a video about that, especially all the new features that are going to come out. So please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button to let me know that you do want some more videos to come up. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.